Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. In this video I want to talk about Alicia Clark from Fear the Walking Dead and my opinions on the character. Now you may say, you've never really done a full dedicated video just giving your opinions on one character. Why are you starting with Alicia of all characters? This is a character that ever since I first got into Fear, which when it first came out, I've always been more negative towards this character. Um, let me go back to how I felt about this character. During the first 3 seasons, I did not like her. She was one of my least favorite characters on the show. My least favorite was Ophelia, but Alicia was like my least favorite character on the show. And the reason for that was because I felt like the character just didn't really contribute much to the show, and whenever she did, it wasn't really great. I mean, like the time where she basically told everyone when she told Jack where her and her family were set up on the boat. Now, I never see anyone give shit to Alicia for making that mistake, and here's the thing, right? I don't mind it because it's a character making a mistake. It's still early in the apocalypse. Characters are going to make mistakes like that. Um, the problem I have with it is if this was any other character that did something like that, the fan base would have fucking yelled about it. Like if this was like Chris that did this, people would still be talking about how much he fucked up. Maybe not that bad, but like people definitely would have given a lot of shit to Chris had he done it. I also find her fan base very off-putting. I think when it comes to her fan base now, before Fear the Walking Dead came out, she was on a different show called The 100, which was a CW show. So CW, you can think of that what you will. I don't really like the CW. I mean, last thing they put out that I liked was Smallville. I never watched Supernatural, so I don't know. But from what I've seen of that show, it looks good. Anyway, back to the topic at hand. Alicia Clark was on that show. She played a character called Alexa, wasn't it? Alexa? I forget. Anyway, her character was a badass in the show, and she was definitely a fan favorite for many fans. I never watched the show myself. To be honest, it just didn't look like a show that was up my alley, so I just didn't bother with it. I've been aware of the show for years, but I just never watched it. Now, my opinions on Alicia is like when they brought her into Fear the Walking Dead, she already had an established fan base that wanted to see her in this new show. And when Fear was new, of course. Now, a lot of fans immediately started saying, "Oh, she's a badass, she's a badass," when she didn't really do anything in the first season to really be considered a badass. In the first season, she was just an average teen. She was a teen character, teenage angst, which, by the way, World Beyond characters get shit for their teenage angst, yet Alicia never got any fucking shit for her teenage angst. And her character was a teenager in the first few seasons. The actress was, like, what, 24 when Fear started, but, like, the character was 17. Anyway, so in World Beyond, like, those characters get shit for pretty much everything. Granted, sometimes they deserve it, but with Alicia, I felt like people went so easy on that character. She did stupid things that didn't add to the plot. She did stuff that was just irrelevant and inconsequential to the story, but like people just loved her anyway. And my biggest problem with her was that the fans never shut the fuck up about her. And a lot of people complain that the new seasons have ruined her character, which I disagree with wholeheartedly. I think the new seasons have improved her character. She went from one of my least favorite characters. Now I like her more than I ever liked Nick. I liked Nick. There were times I didn't like him. Honestly, I think Dave Erickson was very overrated in his time on Fair because I think the first season was great. The second season was, well, not that good. And season 3 was pretty fucking good as well. With season 3, and his time on the show, season 3 was my favorite season of his. I'm not trying to say Ian Goldberg and Andrew Chambliss perfected Fear. They didn't. Season 4 was a rough season. To me, season 5 was a bit of an improvement, and season 6 has been my favorite season of Fear so far. Um, as for like my opinions on her fan base, look, if you like the character, that's fucking awesome, and her character has definitely become a badass in recent seasons, and I'll repeat that: recent seasons. Her character, the first time I ever thought she did something that was really like a fuck yeah moment was when those assholes were going to, kill Travis at the end of season 2, and she stabbed the brother. I thought that was the first moment where I really started liking her character. Now, her storyline in the early seasons was so fucking repetitive. A lot of people get annoyed when they keep pairing Daryl up with antagonists, like, Daryl, let's put you with the Claimers, let's put you with the Saviors, now let's put you with the Reapers. Like, it's like, it's repetitive. But they did the same fucking shit with Alicia. It's like, okay, Jack. She's put with Connor's Pirates. She's put with the Proctors. She's put with what's his name? Uh Taka, Even though he wasn't really an antagonist. Well, he was an antagonist for a while, so it still counts. Just like Negan, right? Negan was an antagonist for a while, then he stopped being one. But yeah, it's like no one really gave shit to that. I found that annoying, and especially because, like, essentially all Alicia's character was in the first 3 seasons of Fear was eye candy. That's what her character was meant to be for the other characters. Now, I still find that strange considering her character was still 17 at the fucking time. Let's remember that now. But, you had Proctor John. He clearly kept her around because he had the hots for her. Jack had the hots for her. Now Taka, I think Taka, she stayed so Jake could go back to the ranch. Obviously, I know for that reason, that's why she stayed with Taka as like a basically just what would you call that? What would you say that? Like just reassurance that like we won't get attacked because we have one of their people. So that way if they do attack, we can just kill someone important, and it's essentially like that. Now, to me, her character as well. When did I start liking her character? It was towards the end of season 4 when she lost Nick and Madison. By this point, her starting her connection with Strand, and even like season 5 when she was training under Morgan, because I always hear shit like, why hasn't she become the leader of the show? Because she's not leader material, not yet, and she's getting there. Seasons 1, 2, and 3 never really showed her as a leader. It definitely showed her giving orders at moments, but she was never much of a leader. Morgan, if you've noticed what they've been doing with Morgan and Alicia in season 5, if you really look at that, Morgan was training her. Morgan doesn't want to be in charge. And judging by the fan base, they don't want Morgan in charge either, which is fair enough. Morgan's not really a leader type character. He's kind of just being forced into that role by the writers and by the other characters on the show. But at the beginning of season 5, you saw Morgan was training her. He wanted her to take over the group, so he did. And in season 5, we saw moments of her wanting to take over. Now, she had the close encounter where she almost died. And this is where fans really started to hate what they were doing with Alicia's character, which I disagree with on this one. A lot of people are pissy with Alicia because after the near-death experience she has, she just wants to paint. Now, a lot of people said, where the fuck did this come from? Well, they maybe not said that specifically, but a lot of fans were just very put off by that storyline, even though, what's the first thing you ever see Alicia do in the show? Well, take a shower, but after that, what's the first thing you ever see her do in the show? It's paint. It kind of took her back to, like, if you remember, after she almost dies from the Walker blood, after this, she sees those, like, signs, and it reminds her of her mom. It reminds her of her mom, and it reminds her of, like, a better time when she was painting with her boyfriend. Does anyone remember she had a boyfriend in season 1? Does anyone else remember that? Okay, good. So it took her back to that point, and I think she was just painting because she just wanted, because like she had her future robbed from her by the apocalypse. You know, like she was a very good student. You know, like she got good grades. She was very artistic. And you know she had a good boyfriend, and you know she had what looked like colleges waiting for her. You know, she looked like she was having a good time, and then you know obviously she was put into this fucking terrible world and all the shit that happened to her. Um, and it's like by the time her brother and her mom dies, and by the time she's pretty much alone at this point, you know, Strands is like family to her. I mean, the group is like family to her. She knows that. Morgan has kind of taken over the role as like mentor for her, and with that, it's like when she saw the paint and it did remind her of her mom, she kind of just wanted to go back to that. She wanted more meaning in life because at that point, I feel like she did lose a lot of meaning in her life, and when she got the painting, you know, with Wes and by the like, I know think people get annoyed with her because she refused to kill walkers. I mean, wouldn't you? And then you're that situation like that, you're going to be panicking. Like you're going to be like, oh shit, like what if I get this one's blood on me? Like shit, could this one possibly be toxic? Like it's scary, it's scary. But like, here's the thing, right? It didn't last that long. Like fans acted like this was like 2 seasons where she was like this. I mean, think like this, right? After has the Walker blood on her, she, um, she doesn't want to kill walkers in what, like episode 9 and 11, because she's not in 10. So it's episode 9 where she asks for Strand's help, and then like episode 11 where she tries fighting again. And by the next time you see her, she is gone back to fighting walkers, being a kick-ass, you know, badass character. It didn't last long at all, and people get so butthurt over her characterization. I thought it was great. It brought her back to the way she was initially at the start of the show. A character like her, she wanted some sort of peace, some sort of connection to the past, and I think it's very understandable for her to want that. Now, of course, in season 6, while she hasn't been in much of the season, a lot of the characters were not in much of it. A lot of people say, you know, Morgan was in so much of like these last 3 seasons, and for season 4 and 5, yeah, if you want to say he was in a lot of those, sure. But season 6, I felt like it was necessary to show him because he was the outside looking in. He was the character that was trying to get everyone out of Virginia's settlement. So having him be the main character of episode 1, because obviously the biggest cliffhanger from season 5 was whether he was going to live or die. So obviously you show him live in the premiere. Episode 2, he doesn't appear until the end of the episode, basically showing, okay, he has Daniel as an inside man. And then they show him again at the beginning of episode 3 going out to get more of the survivors. And then for the rest of that episode 3, we don't see him. Episode 4, he's not in it till the very end of the episode where he kills those 2 guys that have the key. Like, it's kind of, because like, season 6 wanted to do a more segmented story where each character was kind of dealing with their own shit, and then later on into the season their stories would start being interconnected. Morgan's was like the ongoing story of him trying to rescue everyone, which of course by episode 9 he had done that. um, so it made sense to constantly show him in the background being like, okay, he's putting the pieces together, this is the character storylines. And I thought Alicia was great in season 6. As I said, she has become one of my favorite characters on the show because of season 5 and 6. I think her character has become much better. She's not that just bad. Like, season 3 kind of got ridiculous with her in places, like when she was the only one that didn't fucking die in the pantry. That was ridiculous. That's just bad writing. She's the only one that survives purely because main character. She's the main character, we can't kill her off now. And by the way, a lot of people say if Dave Erickson continued to do the show, he probably would have given Alicia a much bigger role. I don't think so. I think he would have killed her. And I have evidence, well, maybe not evidence, but like I have a theory why I think he would have killed her. Notice how whenever he talked about the future plans he had for Fear, it's always really about Nick and Madison. Alicia is always more pushed off to the side. I feel like Alicia would have been like the final catalyst for Madison to make her a full villain. And Nick would have been going against her in the final season of Fear. I feel like that's what they wanted to do with Fear. Because like season 3, you had the symbolism of her grave, in Madison's dream. I feel like Dave Erickson was basically planting the seeds for her character to be killed off. Because honestly, I feel like Dave Erickson didn't know what the fuck to do with Alicia. I honestly think he didn't know what the fuck he wanted to do with that character. It was just constantly put her with antagonist, give her a new boyfriend this episode. I mean, think of it like this: how many like guy characters did she have connections with in the course of the first three seasons? There's her boyfriend from the first few episodes. Um, in season one, they also had like her and Chris. That fucking weird moment, when Chris like sees her getting dressed and she like notices and she smiles. Like, I don't know what the fuck they were fucking smoking there. Like, I'm kind of glad they didn't pursue that. That would have been fucking awkward. Anyway, I know they're not blood related, but still, it's awkward. Um, Season two, you had her with the Jack stuff, and then after that, you even had her getting connected with the guy that was working. I forget his name, but the hotel, the woman that worked at the hotel. Those fucking shitty ass characters. Remember her? What was it? Her nephew or her son, the one that stayed at the hotel with her. They even kind of like hinted at her and him. Not much, but it was still noticeable. And then season three, of course, the relationship of her and Jake, which I hated that relationship. Like, Jake's wife died like an episode before, and he was already fucking someone else. Like, I know, I felt that was awkward as well. Plus, Jake was easily the most boring fucking character out of the other family. He wasn't a bad character, but he was definitely boring compared to Troy and even Jeremiah. They were more entertaining. They weren't good people, but they were more entertaining for the story. Now, how many love interests has she had since season 4? Do you hear that dead silence? That's because no boyfriend character has come up. The closest we've had for a boyfriend for Alicia is Wes. And even season 5 kinda alluded to it, but season 6 hasn't really alluded to it much. And now going into season 7, a lot of people are complaining, where's Alicia, where's Alicia, where's Alicia? And I'm like, can you guys just calm the fuck down? The fan base her fan base annoys the shit out of me more than any other fan base in, like, every character, will have a fan base. Well, most of them anyway. Like, Daryl has a fan base, Carol has a fan base, Madison has a fan base, Nick has a fan base. World Beyond has one fan, which is me. Anyway, so I find Alicia's fan base the most obnoxious. I like the character, especially in more recent seasons. But, like, can you guys, like, calm the fuck down? There's been so many times where a character I really like has been gone for, like, many episodes. I don't constantly give the writers and the producers and all of them shit saying, where's this character? Where's this character? Where's this character? We're going to see her. By the way, if you don't know, she's also directing an episode of Fear for season 7, so how about we show her some support? The actress, Alicia Carey. How about we show her some support? Give her some feedback on her first directorial debut. She's going to be directing an episode of season 7 of Fear, and I can't wait to see how she does. Morgan has done a good job. Lenny James has done a good job directing episodes, and Coleman Domingo has also done a great job directing episodes. I can't wait to see how Alicia Carey directs the upcoming episode. I don't know which one. I think it's episode 4 maybe, but I can't wait to see what she does with it. Honestly, I like that they are keeping her character really in suspense. I mean, what if, like, how, like, a lot of people were complaining that they haven't shown her in the trailer, even, like, the synopsis for the first 6 episodes, she hasn't been mentioned. I'm happy on that regard. They want to keep a storyline secret. God forbid this show keeps something secret. Like, how I've been going on for the past year? Madison's coming back. I genuinely think she still could. I think one of the biggest reasons she didn't appear in season 6 was because COVID. I think that's why they couldn't get Kim Dickens, because of COVID, for season 6. So that's why I think she didn't appear. I think she was going to appear in season 6. Who knows? If she does come back in season 7, they might even say something like, "Oh, we were going to have her in season 6, but obviously because of scheduling conflicts after the second half was delayed." With Alicia in season 7, keep her a mystery, because I feel like with Madison, if they were bringing her back, they would put it all over the news. One thing I hate about AMC is they don't keep anything secret anymore. It's like, if a character is coming back, they're going to just say it. Like, remember in The Walking Dead season 5, when they had the post-credit scene where Morgan was following the group. We had no idea Morgan was going to be in the season. They just put it there. It was like, holy shit, Morgan's coming back. Remember how cool that was? And how much hype that built up amongst the fan base? Remember, this was before people started hating Morgan because of his All Life is Precious stuff. Yeah, so why I wish they would do stuff like that. Keep Alicia's secret. I want, like, for all we know, she could appear at the end of episode 1. For all we know, she could be in any of the episodes upcoming, and they're just going to be like, boom, look. I think they do have a interesting storyline coming up with her. Obviously, she didn't appear in the last couple of episodes of season 6. I was a bit bummed out by that because I was hoping she would at least be in the finale, because I am interested in what's next for her story. But I do think something interesting is coming up with her. I think something very interesting is coming up with her, and I am really looking forward to her upcoming story. The character, I love the character. I'm interested in her future storyline in the show. And by the way, can I just give her a lot of credit for sticking with the show for this long? She's the only main character from the first episode that is still in the show. Daniel is a character. Yeah, he was a main character, but like, he was in season 1. He's in the first half of season 2. He comes back in season 3. He's gone for season 4. He's in season 5, 6, and he's going to be in 7. But like, he had sporadic appearances, kind of like Morgan in the main Walking Dead show. And Strand didn't even appear until the end of season 1, and even then he wasn't a main character until like season 2 or something. I think he was promoted to main cast in season 2. So Alicia Debenham Carey is the only one that has stuck with this show all this time. I gotta commend her for that. That is great, and that is loyalty to the fan base, and that is loyalty to the show you're in. And I'm hoping she's going to be in this franchise for years to come. I'm hoping she makes it all the way through the apocalypse. I want to see her survive. And I want to see Madison back too, but yeah. I'm hoping for that. So overall, I do love her character now. I still can't stand her fan base. I'm sorry. If you're someone that is a huge Alicia fan and you're one of my subscribers, in my opinion, can you just stop giving everyone shit for her not being in the show right now? I feel like they have a plan with her, and I'm not trying to be here being a Fear the Walking Dead apologist. I'm not. I want her to be in a lot more of season 7. I genuinely want her to have a huge storyline in the next season, mainly because I find her storyline one of the more interesting ones that is currently on the show. Especially, I want to know how she's really been feeling after the Cole situation, episode 14, where she saw Cole in them. Because I have a theory that Madison also heard the radio. Like, if you want to hear my thoughts on the future of her character, I think she is the key to bringing Madison back into the show. Possibly even Strand as well. And the reason why is because, think of it like this, right? Remember, they were closer to the stadium in episode 14, and she at the end of the episode got on the walkie-talkie and was looking for Morgan, and Strand's the one that picked up. Walkie-talkies only cover a certain distance, so... And considering they were closer to the stadium in that moment, it's very possible Madison heard her but couldn't communicate with her, for whatever reason. None of the characters know where the fuck she is. I think one of our best hopes of her getting out is maybe Madison heard the radio call and she's been following the group, and now she's going to be the one that saves Alicia. That could be another reason why they're keeping Alicia's storyline really secretive, because it's going to have huge repercussions for the storyline coming up. I think her storyline is going to be very important in season 7, potentially even season 8. Especially with the Strand stuff, obviously, because of his connection with Alicia. I think coming up, him and her are going to have a really interesting, storyline. Like, in the poster, we have what looks like Morgan and Strand facing off. That could just be a front, right? We know Morgan definitely wants to keep his group safe, and he's even said to Strand in the trailer, I think what you're doing is fine, but, just don't come after me and my own. I think, on the surface, it looks like Strand versus Morgan, but I think deep down it's going to be Strand versus Alicia. Maybe even Strand versus Daniel, because I really think they need to... I really want to know Daniel's opinions on everything with Strand right now. Honestly, if Strand does become a bad guy, who do I think should be the one that kills him? I think Alicia or Daniel. I'd be happy either way. Daniel, because it's really been set in stone pretty much since they first met at the end of season one, that Daniel has always questioned Strand. Especially like season two, maybe not season one, but like at the beginning of season two, him and Madison had questions about Strand. So I'm hoping Daniel also plays a role in the storyline. Daniel's my favorite Fear original. You don't hear me fucking complaining. Oh, Daniel was barely in the trailers. The synopsis doesn't have Daniel in the fucking synopsis. Like, you don't hear me fucking complaining, and he's my favorite character besides Morgan. You didn't hear me complain that much when John Dory fucking died, and he was like my favorite. He was like up there with Morgan and Daniel as my favorite character on the show. I wasn't complaining that much. I was upset, but I wasn't complaining that much. Um, yeah. So, in my opinion, with the Alicia fan base, right? If you love the character, that's fine. I love the character too. I wish they'd make a fucking figure of her. Like, can someone start making Fear the Walking Dead figures, please? Like, really? Like, please? I want to buy some. Anyway, because I have the Madison and Travis. um, yeah, so can someone please make them? Because it sure as fuck isn't going to be McFarlane Toys, the lazy fuckers. Oh god, McFarlane Toys. So if anyone wants to hear my opinions on McFarlane Toys and the Walking Dead toy license, let me know in the comments because it's a topic I want to talk about. Now this video is going on fucking long because I had a lot to say. I hope I haven't repeated myself too much because I'm going off without a script. Um, so I'm going to give my final thoughts and then I'm going to basically give a little bit of an update for what future content's going to be on this channel. So once I'm done talking about Alicia, I'll let you know so you can click off, and if you're interested in the future of the channel, go ahead. So my last bit is I want Alicia to have a huge story. I'm a big fan of her character. I have huge respect for the actress for sticking with the show. I hope she survives the franchise, but the fan base, can you just stop? Because you're very off-putting to some fans. I can't be the only one that gets annoyed constantly hearing people never shutting the fuck up about Alicia. It it's like Daryl. Like, remember how a lot of people kind of just got put off by Daryl because of how many people just constantly went Daryl this, Daryl that, Daryl this, Daryl that, and people were like, I'm fucking sick of Daryl. Well, I'm fucking sick of the fan base. Like, it's it's harder to get people to like a character when all they constantly hear is about how great this character is. Then when you actually see the character, it's going to be like, okay, this is the character everyone's gone on about. I mean, she's all right, but like, she's nothing special. And a lot of people will give up before her character actually becomes a good character. So, uh, yeah, the it's very off-putting to people. Like, I think even some of you can agree with that. Like, constantly hearing about how great a character is, it is going to ruin someone's experience with seeing that character for themselves, because they're going to be, like when you overhype a movie, someone watches it and it's not as good as they thought it was, that you thought it was. That's kind of what has happened to this character, and I can't be the only one that has felt this way about Alicia. That she is a very overrated character. I think she's great. I don't think she's like the be all end all character of this franchise, or even Fear. Um, However, all I ask with the fan base is, can you guys just stop being so bitchy? Let's just say that, like, just bitchy towards people, because Fear the Walking Dead is not the Alicia show, and it shouldn't be Morgan and Friends either. It should be the whole cast, right? I agree that all the characters should have a bit of the spotlight, which was what season 6 was seemingly doing, and it did to an extent. Season 7 looks like it wants to do the same thing, which is great. But like, people are complaining like, oh, Alicia was barely in season 6. A lot of the characters were barely in season 6. That was kind of the point of the more focused storylines. If anything, what they're doing right now is actually good for Alicia, because instead of her being a character that's in a bunch of episodes but maybe only gets a lot of screen time in like 2, we could get 2 or 3 episodes where she plays a very significant part, where she's basically the huge character of the episode, and then she can appear in a couple other episodes more in the background, or more just, having a line here and there, which is what season 6 did. I think season 6 has handled her better than season 4 and 5 did, in terms of giving her screen time and stuff. So this video is half a fucking hour long. That is ridiculous. I am very sorry for going on this long. So yeah, if you agree with me, that's great. If you don't, can you just be respectful? That's all I ask. If you like the character, great. Tell me what your favorite Alicia moment is. That might be fun. Let me know what your favorite moment is for Alicia. What would be my favorite Alicia moment? Her in the room with all the embalmed people in season 6. Her lighting that fire, like place on fire, and then her like killing the guy right afterwards with the embalming stuff. Probably my favorite Alicia moment there. Yeah, that's. So this isn't a video of me shitting on her. It's me giving my thoughts on her character and the fan base, and yeah. I hope you enjoyed this long-winded video, and yeah, the gameplay that is playing in this video is Paint the Town Red. It's a fun game. I highly recommend it. It's on pretty much every console now, along with being on PC. Yeah, so that's pretty much all I gotta say on Alicia. And you can click off now. I'm just going to give some updates on my YouTube channel. Okay, so here's my updates part. The Missing Survivors. That is a series I started last year. I did 4 episodes for. That series is not finished, not by a long shot. I have the next episode scripted. I did the script for the episode about a week ago, and it's going to be on the character of Paula, not from season 6, not the Savior, but the one from season 2, Laurie's friend in the flashback. It's going to be on that character. There's one reason I'm not doing it now. I probably could have gotten it done by now, but I don't want to, because I want to wait to get better equipment, and I want the Missing Survivors to be more heavily edited, more heavily, like, professionally made. Like, I want it to be more professionally made, instead of just showing stills from the episode that vary in quality, where, sometimes you'll get an image that's in pretty good quality, sometimes it's more bad quality. I'm hoping to get a PC, or a laptop, and getting some editing software for it, and Missing Survivors can become a much more professional looking and more nice looking show with maybe even better sound quality and stuff. And yeah, I'm hoping Missing Survivors is really going to take off in 2022. I hope. Once I get better equipment, I think videos are going to be more common. So you're going to get a lot more videos on my YouTube channel, mainly because of better equipment. Because there's a lot of videos I just have stopped doing. There's a lot of types of videos I stopped doing because of just a lack of equipment, and I want these videos to come out better than they really should. Because for the past few years I was uploading on my PS4, and what I would do is I would use the screenshotting button on the controller, and I would go onto the Walking Dead wiki, and I would take images from the different pages, and I would put them on the video if I feel like those images were good for that specific video I was talking about, because the PS4 had an internet browser feature. The PS5, which is what I'm uploading on now, I still have my PS4, but my controller for that is so bad right now, it dies after 2 seconds. I'm not really even exaggerating that much. I mean, I am, but not too much. I need to get a new controller anyway for that thing, but the PS5 doesn't have an internet browser feature, and I can't even go on YouTube and screenshot certain clips I'm looking for. So what I want to do is I want to be able to get better equipment, so I can actually get images for The Walking Dead, so you know what the hell I'm going on about. Because with the PS5, I can't get images. I mean, I could export them, I think, with a USB cable, but I don't really like doing that stuff, and like that's more. I'm more limited to how well I can edit on a PS5 even then. So it's definitely more of a. This is a job for a PC or a laptop, and yeah. So, as for videos in the future, I am still going to continue doing videos. I've also thought about doing playthroughs on certain Walking Dead games. Now, I did a playthrough on The Walking Dead Onslaught, and the viewers for that weren't the best. They weren't what I was looking for. So, does that mean I'm not going to do any more walkthroughs? No, I'm still going to do walkthroughs and playthroughs of games because I enjoy doing them, and I like having like my thoughts over a whole game. One thing I've noticed about my channel is The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners gets me tons of views. Now, I'm not entirely in this for recognition because, like, I mainly do this because of passion. But, you know, it does suck that when I, like, talk about something I'm passionate about and, like, one person watches it. You know, it sucks, but, you know, it is what it is. But I've noticed that when it comes to The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners, anytime I talk about that game, it seems like my views skyrocket. So Saints and Sinners is definitely something I'm keeping an eye on. I love that game. Anyway, I fucking love that game. And of course, it recently had a free DLC, the Aftershocks update, which, can I just say, I fucking love that DLC. And yeah, so I don't think many people are going to watch this video. Maybe the fact that I'm talking about Alicia Clark, maybe people are going to be like, ooh, Alicia Clark. What's he say about it? And then, like, they get like 20 seconds in and like, fuck this guy, he's an asshole, and then they just click dislike. I can imagine this video getting more dislikes than likes because I'm talking about a character that is very loved. I want to say I love the character myself, but I want to do a playthrough on Saints Sinners. I don't know when. I've thought about either doing it when all the DLCs are, because there are more DLCs coming. I thought about either doing it when they've said they've put everything they wanted to in that game and the game is pretty much done, being like getting new content. So I'm thinking, should I wait that long or should I, do a playthrough soon enough? And how I'm going to do it is when I do the main story, I'm just going to label that the Saints and Sinners playthrough, and then when I do Aftershocks, that'll be the Aftershocks playthrough. I'll do it in two separate playthroughs so you know what you're looking for. Because I imagine a lot of people have seen the main story, so some people might just want to jump into an Aftershocks playthrough. But I'm hoping my playthrough could be. Have you ever seen the professionals playthroughs on YouTube? He does playthroughs on the GTA games. When he plays through them, they're very fucking good playthroughs. I highly recommend them, especially if you like the GTA series. But what he does is he plays through the games, but he also gives like lore details, like what happens to a certain character in a different game, how it connects with a different game. He even goes into like how, like, let's say a character is like in his Vice City playthrough, he's done the money laundering mission with the print works, and he was talking about how in real life how money laundering like happens and where it's very prevalent, and it's actually a bit of education. It's really interesting, because his videos are like, he is very knowledgeable on this stuff. Because to my I forget what he said he did, but when like he got a degree in, I think, like criminology. I think that's what it's called, like studying laws and stuff like that. And he's also someone that is very passionate about the GTA franchise and is very knowledgeable on it. And he has a lot of fun playing these games, and they're very fun to watch. So I highly recommend checking out his channel. He's what, close to 1 million, or has he already gotten past 1 million? I think he's very, very close to 1 million. Try to get him to 1 million. Now, I don't have too many subscribers, but hopefully you guys might check him out, and every little helps. I also want to say this: I've gotten to 300 subscribers. I haven't really said this in the last few videos, but holy fucking shit! Like, guys, I think getting to 1,000 subscribers at this point is actually very possible. That's fucking crazy. guys, like, just thank you so fucking much. Like, I know 300 doesn't sound like much, but like, like when you actually start a channel, you know, you have nothing when you start, and then just seeing the numbers rise as much as they have, and now I'm at 3 fucking 112 to my knowledge, 312 right now. Holy shit! That's crazy. Yeah, so I don't think many people are going to watch this video because of the length of the video, so I need to wrap it up before it gets even longer, and people are just like, yeah, I'm not watching this, are you fucking crazy? I hope you enjoy the gameplay that's at least playing in the background. Yeah, so I also thought about, besides doing like playthroughs on Saints and doing more like videos on Saints. Oh, well, see, this is the thing about not having a script. I was going to say, with the professionals walkthroughs, he does a bit more, like he goes into like some of the knowledge about like the trivia of the games. I want to do something that like that with Saints and Sinners, like basically talk about how this relates to different parts of the franchise, how the story as a whole is connected. Um, Another video I would love to do is like the Saints and Sinners story explained. I always hear people say this the story of Saints and Sinners is pretty bad or it's not that good. I love the story for Saints and Sinners. I think it is actually really good. And one thing it managed to do that, you know, a lot of people have been saying is lacking in The Walking Dead is originality. I think the storyline for Saints and Sinners hasn't really been done in this franchise before. Sure, it's kind of been done in other stories, but like in terms of Walking Dead, hasn't really been done to this kind of extent before. So I would love to do a video giving like a story explained where I go into like really in-depth detail about the game, the lore, the different communities in that game, the characters. If you guys are interested in that, let me know. So yeah, that's pretty much all I gotta say. There'll definitely be a lot more videos in 2022. This channel will hopefully get much more content in 2022. I know 2021 has been pretty lacking in terms of videos, but um, I'm back now. You know, obviously I've done 3 videos over the last like month, which is better than it has been before. Uh, Still though, I'm hoping to get more than that done, and obviously a great way to improve your channel is consistent uploading. This has been a rambly video. Some people like videos like this where it's a long video and it's mainly just someone just giving their unfiltered, just raw, honest opinions on something. This is mine, and if you stuck with this video, thank you all for watching. Yeah. If there's a certain video you would like me to talk about when it comes to The Walking Dead, let me know. Like, give me some ideas for videos. Now, I have tons of videos I want to do, so don't worry. This isn't me saying I'm completely out of ideas. Don't worry about that. But if there's like a video you would like me to do, like maybe I don't know, like talk about a specific episode of like The Walking Dead or Fear or World Beyond. Now, here's the thing as well. You got to remember about me. I'm in Ireland, and obviously The Walking Dead, Fear the Walking Dead, and The Walking Dead World Beyond are all on AMC Plus. And like I know for a fact, episode 8 of The Walking Dead season 11 has already come out. Episode 2 of World Beyond season 2 has already come out. Fear season 7 episode 1 is coming out this weekend. On TV, they're not airing till next. Like, well, Walking Dead and World Beyond aren't airing like their next episode until this Sunday, and Fear is coming out next Sunday. Over here, I'm not going to get the episodes till fucking Monday. So, if that's confusing, yeah. So basically, it means the newest episode of The Walking Dead that has aired on TV is episode. So I'll just use The Walking Dead as an example. Season 11, episode 8 is already out on AMC Plus. Season 11, episode 8 is coming out on TV for everyone else this Sunday. Now, in Ireland, the episode doesn't come out till Monday. I think at 6 a.m. it'll be on Disney Plus. 6 a.m. Ireland time. So, another thing is, I was going to basically do a video on each episode of World Beyond Season 2 because I really enjoy that show, and I realize I really shouldn't do that. I don't like spoilers, I fucking hate them. So what I'm going to do is, once the first 8 episodes of The Walking Dead season 11 are over, I'm going to give my thoughts on the full, like the first chunk of episodes, so the first 8 episodes. And then when World Beyond season 2 ends, I'll give my thoughts on World Beyond season 2, and then like when Fear season 7 goes on its mid-season finale, I'll give my opinion on the first half of the season. So um, I'm only doing this just so I can avoid people talking about the next episode, because again, I hate spoilers. I fucking hate them. Um, yeah, so if you're interested in hearing me talk about the newest episodes, just know I'm not going to talk about them until a chunk of them are out. And there's not one that's on AMC Plus that I can't see. So I know some people may say, why don't you just go on a website and watch the newest episode of Walking Dead? I bought Disney Plus. I fucking hate Disney myself. I like some of their older content, Disney's older content, but I'm a '90s baby. I grew up in the 2000s. I grew up with like Lizzie McGuire, that sort of thing. Like those shows of my childhood. Those shows are on Disney Plus, so that's something I can watch. Anyone else that grew up in the 2000s? Hey. But yeah, the Disney, I don't like the shit they put out now for the most part. A lot of it's just fucking woke garbage. Um, as for like The Walking Dead, I'm just considering I'm paying for Disney Plus. I might as well watch the episodes, or otherwise, what the fuck am I paying for? Getting bang for my buck. Yeah. So this video is nearly an hour long. I thought this video was going to be 10 minutes. I even recorded the gameplay you saw at the beginning of this video was like 5 minutes. I thought that would be good enough for this video. Maybe I could record a few extra minutes of gameplay just in case. No, I'm going to need to record a lot of fucking gameplay. So anyway, I am going to end my commentary on this video, then record more gameplay, and then I will upload this. By the way, besides Walking Dead, what else am I going to talk about? The new Halloween movie is coming out, next week? Holy shit. And I haven't watched the movies yet. I've been buying them on DVD, Blu-ray, 4K. I've been buying them so I can watch them. And I have almost all the movies. I've bought all the movies, but not all of them have arrived. The ones I'm still waiting on to come in are the 4th movie, 5th movie, and the 2 Rob Zombie movies. So once all of them are here, I'm going to watch all of them. I'm going to see the new one in theaters, and I will do videos on Halloween because I want to talk about Halloween, especially because it's October. Actual Halloween. I want to do like something like ranking Michael's masks in the movie and like give my thoughts on my favorite to least favorite Halloween movie. Also, the Chucky TV show is coming out in a week, less than a week. Holy shit. I really want to watch that show. I recently went and watched every Chucky movie. All of them. Child's Play 1, 2, 3, Bride of Chucky, Seed of Chucky, Curse of Chucky, Cult of Chucky, even the 2019 reboot, which isn't connected to the TV show, but I've watched all of them. And there's also an Evil Dead game coming out, a new Evil Dead movie, and even this year I watched all the Evil Dead trilogy. I watched the reboot, and I watched Ash vs. Evil Dead. I've been watching a lot of stuff this year. I've gotten a lot of franchises watched, which is awesome. So yeah, I gotta end this video, guys. I'm sorry. Jesus. Yeah, thank you all for watching, and goodbye.